Hey everybody, welcome back. What's up? It's Thursday. We're at the bar and just do another palm vlog. Man, Jesus. One of the guys on YouTube wanted me to do a Sabal Miner vlog. So right now I don't have anything that's big. And actually Sabal Miners are actually very hard to find up here up north. Nurseries and all that. Not a very common palm because it's slow and it's bushy type. A lot of people up north here want stuff with a tropical presence, really fast for that, that wow factor in their properties, and then, probably let them die, use them as annuals and all that. That's why Majesty palms are very popular up here. Nowadays we're getting a lot of Robelinis. What else? We got some bottles, some spindles, some Bismarcks I'm seeing more often. Christmas palms, of course. That's one of the more common stuff. So, and we don't really, very rarely have I seen Sabal palmettos as well. Just the big stuff like what James Palms imported there. So Sabal Miner is pretty uncommon to see up here, up north, 43 degrees north here in Southern Ontario. So I got a couple specimens here. And what's unique about these two is, well, there's a little bit of history with them. So the little guy on the left was born this, I think, June. So do the math. Just over 6 months old. Just starting on second strap leaf. So slower than heck. So this one here, Sabal Miner NC. NC is for North Carolina. So this guy was I bought from Banana Joe. So Banana Joe actually germinated it, shipped it to me as a bare root seedling. 2 years this spring. And it was already a strap leaf and a half like this or bigger when I got it. So this Sabal Miner here is 2 years old. So as you can see, that's the difference, about a year and change difference between the two. This one now is just starting to grow. It's starting to get a little more width, as you can see here. I know it's got some folded leaves, which is kind of strange. Almost looks like a deficiency, but I've got two Sabal Miners doing the same thing. So I'll get to the bottom of it, but it's nice and green. That's the two Sabal Miners, extremely cold hardy. And what's good about this one here from North Carolina is that this is from a strain of one of the most northern strains of Sabal Miner in North America. I believe there are some in Virginia that have been found. Even I think naturalized as well. Not many, but most of the time North Carolina there seems to be quite a bit. So one of the reasons why I wanted this one was because it's from a pretty cold habitat, sees snow once in a while, etc. So, and I know that's why Banana Joe is growing them as well because of that factor. So this guy here was just a generic seed I bought online. This one comes probably near the Gulf Coast of the states, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, etc. So two different places that these two guys come from. So they're very slow, and my room is warm. You guys know my room is warm, but they're super slow. So I think that's one of the reasons why. They'd probably be pretty expensive to get these things up here. Who's going to want to pay $200 for a little tiny Sabal, right? It's just too much money. So what I wanted to show you guys as well, I have a couple examples here of the growth and how slow they are in containers. Now you remember, we're not in Florida, we're not in the direct sun. They're getting LED light, so these are container grown. But let me show you something. So you think they're slow, right? So here, actually, I'll put this right in the middle here. Okay, and I'll even put the logo. Where's the logo? There it is. There. So this guy here is the same age as this Sabal Miner here. Gonna be 2 years old this spring, early summer, okay? This is a key thatch palm. It's a local Thrinax morsi. So I have two of them. Both of them have 3 leaves in 2 years. That's it. So I even have an old man palm that's got more growth than this. So in my palm room, this is the slowest growing palm I have to date, is this thatch palm. I cannot believe how slow this darn thing is. And I mean, if you look at it, it looks pretty good. I think everything just got watered, but yeah, look how thin. It's so thin. So you think Sabal Miner is slow. Well, key thatch is even slower. And I've got one last comparison, okay, for you guys. Okay. So this guy here, this bigger liner pot, that's a Sabal palmetto. It is the same exact age, or around the same time frame, sorry, as this Sabal minor right here. So there's your comparison in growth between a Sabal minor and a Sabal palmetto. Now this palmetto is still small relatively to the dates and Washingtonias and some of the other palms I have in the room. But I would say it's like mid growth, like mid speed. It's not faster than like the dates and the washies and the Bismarcks, but it's quicker than say these Sabals, the Leucothrinax morsi, the Keith Thatch, Old Man Palm, and it's actually growing faster than my Butias, saw palmettos, things like that. So, but still, you have to be super patient to have palms like these, any of these Sabals. And the thing that I was going to say too is this guy here. He is a Southern Florida collected seed too, so not native to one of our cold temperatures. That's why I love to try to get stuff from Banana Joe or maybe this year James Palms. I want stuff that's from Canada, from very cold, because I don't really want to put the stuff in the ground here and protect it. It's not its natural habitat. It's this one here maybe, because it's used to cold, but these guys are Florida grown palms, so I'm not going to do that. So anyway, very, very cold hardy palms. If you want to get the exact numbers, you go online. I know a lot of guys know all that stuff already. And the numbers seem to change. It depends on how cold and wet it is, how cold and dry it is, how much sun, how much snow, yada, yada. So the cold hardiness changes depending on a lot of those factors. That's why some of these palms don't do as well in the Pacific Northwest, because the winters are very wet and they hate cold, very cold, wet soil, and like down south, they still get days that get in the 70s and 80s during the winter. And so they really need that heat as opposed to like out west. So, and I know Banana Joe has been growing some of these here, been pretty successful, but they are so slow growing in that growing zone. So in Canada, if you want to grow these, fine, but it's going to take me, guys, 4 years before you see an update on these things, before they're even big enough to even show them off. Right now, they're just little seedlings. So anyway, that's the Sabal minor, Sabal palmetto. And you guys were asking about humidity. Humidity in my room is very dry right now. I'm very hot, but very dry, like 36%, 40% humidity. So even though everybody says, oh, Sabals need humidity, they need heat and humidity. Well, I'll tell you this right now. Okay, look at that. That's the smallest brown tip in history. Just tiny little brown tips, barely anything. And they are doing perfect. So you can grow them in a dry house. As long as you've got light and they're warm, they will be fine. Okay, everybody, Sabal minor and a little bit of the palmetto vlog. Have a good one. See you, bye.